do way more.
Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg spent another day in the hot seat on Capitol Hill. Zuckerberg just left a House committee hearing room moments after answering questions for 5 hours. Lawmakers grilled him on several issues, particularly the data privacy scandal, in which up to 87 million people had their personal information improperly shared with the political consulting firm Cambridge Analytica. Zuckerberg said that even his own personal information was not safe.
Was your data included in the data sold to the malicious third parties? Your personal data?
Yes.
The hearing on the House side came one day after Zuckerberg spent more than 4 hours answering questions from senators. Joining us now to talk about this is Georgia Republican Congressman Buddy Carter. He was one of the House members involved in today's hearing with Zuckerberg. Congressman, good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Congressman, let me just try and get a sense, after 2 days of testimony, whether you've given thought to the role Congress, the thoughtful role that Congress should play. I think we're all coming around to the idea that there probably needs to be some thoughtful legislation of social media, but it's got to be done in a way that doesn't wreck all the good things about social media. We do have to understand that Mark Zuckerberg and the like have given us something that we didn't have before that. What's your thought on this 2 days of testimony?
Well, there's no question about it. I do feel like we need to nibble at the edges. And if you will remember, today the president actually signed legislation that calls for criminal and civil penalties against platforms that knowingly advertise sex trafficking. That's the kind of thing that we need to be doing. But I am not in favor of making the internet a utility, of the government getting involved with it. I think it will stifle innovation that we have been the beneficiary of. I think that would be one of the worst things. And let's face it, I've been doing this a long time. You can't legislate morality. But what I hope that Mr. Zuckerberg, the message that he got and what he took away from this is that he has a responsibility as a platform to be monitoring that platform. Some of the things that I brought up about illegal drugs being advertised on the internet, about the wildlife and the sale of ivory over the internet that's almost putting our elephants into extinction, and also about the piracy of movies. Those are all kinds of things that they can control and that they should be controlled.
Congressman, and by the way, if I get a chance to, if the White House briefing doesn't eliminate the possibility, I'm going to be talking to Senator Portman about the Backpage story, which I agree with you is a remarkable development. But to the issue of Russian interference via Facebook in the 2016 elections, we're almost at the 2018 elections. That's got to concern you that bad acting parties sponsored by other governments still seem to have a backdoor way of getting involved in our elections.
No question about it. We in Congress are very concerned about that. And of course, we're very concerned about the privacy issue. You know, that's why we've had hearings with Equifax, with the other breaches that have occurred where private information has gotten out. And we know that we have a responsibility as members of Congress to make sure that this doesn't happen. I hope that what these companies are understanding is that you need to do it to yourselves before we have to do it to you.
Congressman, always good to talk to you. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you very much.
Congressman Buddy Carter of Georgia. Mark Zuckerberg was asked numerous times during his 2 days of hearings about